Window is the most important facet of a building. Rooms would be dark and stuffy without the presence of windows. On the other side of the coin, windows are also associated with our fears. Sometimes, windows are depicted to have some creepy individual watching you from behind their thin glass barrier. Other times, we find ourselves peeking outside the window, staring timidly into the darkness, searching for some knife-wielding psycho in the distance. Windows can bring in both the light and the dark because they serve as windows to our hearts. Hello everybody, I'm Stretch. Today, we'll be talking about Entity 2 from the Backrooms. Entity 2, also known as the Windows, are creatures that take on the shape of non-anomalous windows. On closer inspection, you'll notice that there are shadowy figures behind them, pointing at you. Sometimes you can hear faint whispers calling out to you, asking you to come closer. Should you move any closer, the shadowy entity will emerge to grab and pull you in. It is unknown what lies on the other side of the window, but what we do know is that once you get pulled in, you're never coming back out. You'll most likely encounter this type of windows on level 1, but you can find different variants on other levels as well. Windows come in many different shapes and sizes. Some windows have scenery or landscapes behind them, but don't let them fool you. These incredibly realistic images are mostly traps to lure you in. So it's best not to go near any window at all when traveling in the Backrooms. The following are some other types of windows discovered within the Backrooms. Level 4 windows. Level 4, also known as the abandoned office, appears as an empty office building that is almost completely devoid of furniture. The level is considered safe, though some entities might pop up here and there. But due to the expansive open area of the level, you can easily spot and avoid them. Located on the walls are, you guessed it, windows. Any windows on level 4 that are not entirely blacked out are entities. However, they are harmless and rather timid. If you actively walk up to a window, they will start trembling and whimper. Instead, they prefer to silently observe visitors as they come and go. If you make camp in the office, you can hear the windows whispering to one another in the dead of the night. A word of advice: bring earplugs. Another variant is the level 188 windows from the infamous level 188, the courtyard of windows. They are extremely dangerous. Wanderers entering the level are greeted by a large courtyard in the center, surrounded by walls on all sides. Each wall is filled with countless small square-shaped windows. Most of the windows here are obscured by curtains. These are referred to as closed windows. Pulling the curtain away from a closed window will cause you to disappear to who knows where, while simultaneously changing the location displayed behind the now open window. You may also come across some uncovered windows displaying rooms or scenery. These are called open windows. Sometimes you'll spot entities passing by behind the windows, though they do not appear to be aware of you watching them. Be warned not to enter any of the open windows, as you may get trapped within or transported to a different location altogether. And especially not a window with confetti flying out of it. That particular window is the entrance to Level Fun, the partygoers' clubhouse. Do not, I repeat, do not accept their invitation to join their house parties, even if they promise you an all-you-can-eat cake buffet. A surefire way of exiting level 188 is by returning to the original window you came from and leaving through it. As mentioned, the general rule of thumb is to not go near any windows at all to avoid unnecessary danger to yourself. Even if the window shows you a familiar view, or level 0 itself, chances are that you'll end up somewhere else. Because as long as you're in the Backrooms, you'll never know where you'll end up next.